Hello and welcome to tonight's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we have something very unusual on 2 counts to have a look at today. The puzzle on screen is called Trilobite. It's by Tallcat. None of those things are particularly unusual, but what is unusual is this has a perfect 100% approval rating, and it is a plain vanilla Killer Sudoku. There are no extra rules today, so it's simply normal Killer Sudoku, so you've got to sort of make those 4 digits add up to 16 without repeating a digit in the cage. So whatever this digit is, it couldn't say go in that cell. I mean, they are all the rules. I'll probably go through them in more detail when we get to that portion of the video, but we don't often do plain vanilla Killer Sudokus, but we do them when they're as good as this one, and apparently this is wonderful. Someone described it to us in an email as a masterpiece, and I think Tallcat set it, or was inspired to set it, by things that he learnt. He went to SudokuCon earlier in the year, and had some ideas during SudokuCon. So this has been it has been inspired by Sudoku activity a go-go. And as 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, so hopefully not monstrously difficult, but we'll have a look at it in a moment or two's time. I don't have much news for you today. I've got something frivolous to share with you that popped up on my Facebook account. You may know I often am tickled. Facebook's quite clever in what it recommends to you, and sometimes it recommends sort of landscape paintings, which it knows I'm fond of. And sometimes it recommends poetry, and I'm a particular fan of the poetry of Brian Bilston, who is just a beautiful modern poet, and often writes tongue-in-cheek. And a poet came up today, which was called "What Don Corleone Did Next." And I thought I'd read it to you. I mean, it's very short, but in my opinion, it raised a smile. And basically, that's what we hope to do. We hope to entertain and hopefully raise a smile and get your brain cells working. That's what we do on Cracking the Cryptic. So, What Don Corleone Did Next by Brian Bilston. Upon retiring from the mafia, he wove aquatic mammals out of raffia. Let me tell you how I learned this news. He made me an otter I could not refuse. Sorry, I mean, I know it's frivolous, but it did make me laugh. An otter I could not refuse. Anyway, so that's the poetry part of the video. What else can I tell you about? Oh, well, if you do enjoy Killer Sudoku, and who doesn't, frankly, you will enjoy. We have an app devoted to Killer Sudoku. 100 of the most beautiful Killer Sudokus that have ever existed, and the difference between our apps, of course, and basically everyone else's is that ours are handmade by the world's very best constructors. There's no computer generation. They are all handmade by people like Fistamafel. So I shall say no more, and check them out. The puzzles in that Killer Sudoku app are absolutely terrific. Other than that, I will make a short appeal. Do like and subscribe. We continue to wend our way upwards towards the elusive total of 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is my secret ambition. It's a secret I only share with my very favourite people. It's a difference to the Sudoku secret. It's the Cracking the Cryptic secret. So anything you can do to help us get there would be, well, seriously appreciated. We are still a long way away, but you never know. But with that said and done, let's have a look at Trilobite by Tallcat. The rules are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, and that means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. And then digits in cages may not repeat and must sum to the given total in the top left corner. So those 4 sum to 15 without repeating a digit, etc. They are all of the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, the first thing I suppose I'm seeing here, which is not really a point about solving, and it's wrong. I was about to say is that all the cages are symmetrical around the positive diagonal. If I just go to the positive diagonal and quickly draw in a line, and try and explain what I thought I'd seen, I think it's true to say that if you sort of folded the page along that crease that I've just drawn, almost all of the cages would map to each other. They don't have the same total, like that cage is a 6 cage and that's a 14 cage, so that they're not the same totals, but the shapes match, I think, everywhere except here. Look, that 22 cage touches the crease, that 8 cage doesn't, so I was nearly right. Anyway, these are the sorts of things that sometimes will catch your eye. Now, if you do get very symmetrical puzzles, say that this puzzle was incredibly symmetric around that, which is a bit, around that positive diagonal, then if you did some logic down here, it would be well worth considering the sort of symmetrical equivalent position in the grid to see if that logic applied up there as well. That's the sort of thing that symmetry might give you. But, I mean, I'm not seeing... Oh, what's that? Yeah, that's fine. I'm not seeing a great deal. There are a few cages that only have 2 possible makeups. I mean, a 15 cage is either 6-9 or 7-8. A 5 cage is either 1-4 or 2-3. A 6 cage here is either 1-5 or 2-4. A 22 cage is either 5-8-9 or 6-7-9. It always has 9 in it. I think that's the first cage where we definitely know a digit that's in it. Look, and the almost symmetrical counterpart of that always has a 1 in it. A 3-cell 8 cage is either going to be 1-2-5 or 1-3-4. 14 cage, is that... Yeah, see, it's interesting. All of the cages that have 2 options, I think, are symmetrical or nearly symmetrical. I mean, these aren't quite, but they are nearly. So 14 is either 5-9 or 6-8. 13 cage has 3 options. The 7 cage has 3 options. I don't know how many options a 4-cell 15 cage has, but it's probably quite a few. And it's probably very similar to a 4-cell 16 cage. So, is it to do with 9 or 1 then? If there was a 1 in there, yeah, that would go... That's interesting. Okay, so if this was a 1-4 cage, the 1 in box 9 would have to go there. But that wouldn't really be very... Well, I mean, it would be great because we get a digit, but a 1 in a 16 cage... I don't feel like that's quite... Oh, in fact, look, if there's a 9 in this cage, it's even better, because the 9 in box 1 has to go there in a 15 cage. So those 3 digits would add up to 6, and they would have to be 1, 2, 3. Now that definitely feels like it's a serious constraint. If that was a 9 and this was 1, 2, 3 and that was 2, 3, then that would be a 1, 6, 7 cage, 1, 6 cage adding up to 7, because it couldn't have 2 or 3 in it, because there'd be a 2, 3 there and a 2, 3 there, so it couldn't be more 2s and 3s in rows 2 and 3. I said 2 and 3 a lot, a great deal in those last few sentences, but that was most of which were sort of highly contingent on a number of things that might turn out to be not true. No, what I was about to say is not right, so I won't say that. Well, I mean, I'm going to say this because I think it's probably true, but I don't quite know what it's doing. I think there's something going on around these positions. There's a lot of, well, there's high digits here. There's high digits here, and there's going to be some sort of commonality, isn't there, between those cages? I mean, even if this doesn't have 9 in it, if it's 7, 8, then this must have one of 7 and 8 in it, because it's either 5, 8, 9 or 6, 7, 9. Yeah, well, okay. So that, right, I've got it. Right, so this digit is high. When I say high, I mean 7, 8 or 9, because there must be a common 7, 8 or 9 between this cage here and this cage here. There must be. How could there not be? I mean, if we make that 6, 9, 9 is common. If we make that 7, 8, 1 of 7 and 8 is in there. So that digit, where does it go in this box? It has to go there. So that has to be a 7, 8 or a 9. And that's in a 15 cage. So this has got a 1 in it now. Because these 3 digits add up to a maximum of 8. And we saw down here that 8 in 3 digits is either 125 or 134. Now what do we do? Okay, there's... Actually, that's not true. No, or is it? Hang on. I'm now trying to think about the other high digits that are in this cage. Sorry, and the reason I'm thinking about this is that this box up here, I can't put 7s, 8s and 9s into those 3 positions. So... I'm just going to give this a purple flavouring. And okay, so now what I'm going to say is the following, and this might be wrong, so I actually want to think this through as I'm speaking. I feel it's right, but I can't quite get my head around how it interacts with this. This cage that's now green and purple, it's either 5, 8, 9 or it's 6, 7, 9. And the digits I'm interested in are the 7s, 8s and 9s. And the 22 cage definitely has 2 of those digits in. 2 of the digits 7, 8 and 9, because it's either got 8, 9 in it or it's got 7, 9 in it. Now, whatever it's got in it, we know that the digit that's in common with the 15 cage up here, we'll call the green. The green digit is the one that's in common between the 22 and the 15 cage. We know that goes there. But the purple digit can't be in common with this. It must go in one of those 2 cells. So if this was 985, how does that... Yeah, I don't think it actually does put pressure on this 15. I mean, the digit in common, which could be 9 or 8 in that instance, is here. And the other digit would be up here and would not be in the 15. And if this was 976, this is 7 or 9, depending on what this is. So say this was 7, 8, that would go here. Actually, if it was 7, 8, and this was 976, the 7 would go here, and then 8 would go here. Oh, I can't quite see this. If this was 6, 9, then 9 is here, definitely. This is definitely 1, 2, 3. But 6 could go in the 7 cage, which is incredibly annoying. And that, okay, if that did happen, if 6 did go in there, then 1 would be here in the top row. Because we'd have to put a 1 in. This would be a 6, 1 cage. 1 in the top row would go in the corner. This would be a 2, 3 pair. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. We know what. Yeah, so this would be a 1, 2, 3 triple. Oh, that would do all sorts of things, wouldn't it? Oh, in fact, that's wrong. That cannot happen. Okay, okay, hang on. I don't quite understand what I've just spotted there. I'm going to just think about this differently. Because there is symmetry. There's an equivalent constraint to what we've just been talking about with high digits down here with low digits. I can't put 1, 2, and 3 in this 13 cage. I could put 4 in it though. I wonder if that's the equivalent to the 6 I could put in there. Yes, okay, so what we should do... is this true? Yes, yes. Okay, so what we're going to say is there is commonality between... there is a low digit in the 8 cage that is definitely in the 5 cage. It's not possible that there isn't an overlapping digit. Actually, one way of seeing that is imagine there was no such overlapping digit. If there was no overlapping digit, then these 5 digits that I've just highlighted in blue would be different because there's no overlap, and therefore they should sum to at least 15 because these are 5 different digits, and if I make them 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which is the least I could make them, they would sum to 15, whereas we can see these sum to 13, so there is overlap. And then there is exactly 1 overlap, because if there was 2 overlaps, those 2 overlaps would both go in that cell. So there is 1 overlap. Okay. But, okay, so if the overlap... Hang on, how does that work then? No, that's okay. I was wondering if the fact that I know that the total here is 13 allows me to conclude what the overlap is. So I have double 1, 4. If this was 1, 4 and 1 was the overlap, then 3 of the digits would add up to 6 and the other 2 digits would have to add up to 7. And that's fine. This would be 1, 4, and this would be 1, 2, 5. And if the overlapping digit was 2, then this would be 2, 3, and there would be a 2 in here, so those 3 digits add to 7. Yeah, and then it would be 1. This again, this would be 1, 2, 5. So is that what I'm learning here? This is right. Sorry, I think I'm being a bit... So what I'm saying is... 8, 9... No, but could the overlapping digit be 3? If the overlapping digit is 3, then this is a 3-2 pair, and this is a 1-3-4 triple, and that is okay, isn't it? Because the double 3 and the 2 would add up to 8, and the 1 and the 4 would take us now. So I don't know what this is. I thought maybe I did, but I don't think I do now. And that logic presumably works the same way here. It's just a different way of thinking about the same point. If they were 5 different digits, then they would add up to a maximum of 35. 9, 8, 7, 6 plus 5 adds to 35, whereas we can see these add up to 37. So that anyway, so we've worked out there is 1 overlap. That goes there, definitely. So that is a 1, 2, or a 3. But this must have 2 low digits in it, so we'll award that a yellow moniker for the other low digit that's in here, because it's either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. That yellow digit goes here. Now, what does that mean? I don't know yet, but I'm sure it means something. Oh yes, and this all started off by me wondering about this being 6-9, didn't it? And wondering whether there could be a 6 in that 7 cage. See if... Sorry. Well... I mean, this is a bizarre point, actually. This is a bizarre point. I think I've seen this in the most mad way it's possible to see anything. But what we've just shown by looking at the bottom of the grid... and the reason I'm pausing is I like to show these puzzles in the best possible light, in the way that Tallcat is a genius. He will have come up with some logic and hidden it in this puzzle that's going to be brilliant. And I don't want to... with my mad brain, I don't want to have found a way of seeing something in a madly, such that it doesn't showcase the logic in the way that is intended. And what I'm struck by here is that what I've seen feels mad, because I just can't believe anyone would think about it in the way my brain seems to have thought about it. So sorry, let me explain. What I'm seeing is, because I've worked out there is a 1 in this 15 cage, I am now of the opinion that there is the 1 in box 1 is in the top row of it. Now you may say, how have you seen that? Well, imagine the 1 was in any of those positions. 1 in the top row then wouldn't be in those cells, it wouldn't be in those cells, it would be here, and I'm going to contend it cannot be there. Because if there is a 1 here, this 5 cage is a 2-3 pair, it can't be 1-4 anymore. And 1, 2 and 3, all 3 low digits would be looking at the low digit that we know is here, that's the yellow low digit in that 8 cage. So now I'm going to contend... Okay, so what I might have done wrong here, maybe I've been focusing on 3 low digits and 3 high digits, but maybe what I should have done is to include 6 as a high digit and include 4 as a low digit. Maybe that was the point. Yeah, so... Okay, but what we've proved is that one is in one of those. Now, so I now think, and we know there's one overlap, don't we, between this cage and this cage. Again, because if there was 2 overlaps, you couldn't put that second overlap anywhere in box 1. So let's now make this red and green, where we're saying well, no. Well, actually, maybe I'm not meant to do that. Well, it's true to say that the red digit, whether it's 6, 7 or 8, is in those cells. It cannot be. You cannot put 6 in here because that would cause it to have a 1 with it. So there is a high digit, by which I mean a 6, 7, 8 or 9 in this domino. If this is 6, 9, this digit is 9. There is a 6 down here. This is 5, 8, 9. This would be 5, 8, 9. This would be 9 and 8 would be up here. Gosh, this is fascinating. This can't be a 1, by the way, for exactly the same reason that we couldn't put a 1 in the 7 cage. If this is a 1, this is a 1, and that's a 1, and we've worked out that's not possible. So if this is not a 1, this is not a 5. Now, what does all this mean, I hear you ask? That's a very good question. I don't know if I know the answer. I really don't know if I know the answer. So, hang on. What if this was 7, 8? Then again, this will be 7 or 8 then. 9 will be up here. And whatever this digit isn't will be over here. That's 6, 9. That's 9. This has got 6 in it. This is 5, 8, 9. Where's 7 in this box then? Or do we just not get to know that effectively? Oh, I can't quite get this. I don't think I'm far away. I'm sort of trying to see. Oh, I see. Okay, here is a different point entirely. This digit I've worked out is low, but it can't repeat in its cage, can it? So the low digit that is in common between these and goes here, goes there. Oh, that could be what I've missed. Oh, that's really rather pretty. So does that work over here? Yeah, yes, the green digit, which we said was in here, the 7, 8 or 9 that lives in the 15 cage that's in common with the 22 cage that goes there, is actually there, look. So now this cage, which is a 16 cage, has a low digit and a high digit in it. Now, here's a... this is a mad point, I think. Yeah. Doesn't this digit have to be a middly digit? Now, that might be wrong. I think it does. I think it does. I think that might have to be 4, 5 or 6. Let me try and explain why. If... No, it's clear, isn't it? No, it's not clear, actually. No, it's not maybe clear. I mean, this can't be 1, 2 or 3, actually, by maths. Because these two digits wouldn't add up to enough to make this digit possible. I mean, if this was 3, say, and this was 2, that's 5, isn't it? This would have to be an 11. So this is not a low digit. If it's a high digit, though, these could add up to 15 if this was a 1, but I don't think that's going to work. Because the only way that works is if these do add up to 15. But if these do add up to 15, bearing in mind that the green digit is in here, then the digit that green adds up to 15 with is the red digit. And I'll be putting the red digit here to make this add up to 15. So that doesn't work. So this is 4, 5 or 6. I reckon that's not doing anything, though. Possibly. Not sure. Golly, okay. Golly. And do we get the same... Is it the same with... So the digit that's... The digit that's in here with the digit that's blue. Over here, I was able to conclude that you couldn't put that rogue digit, the 6, in here. Because Oh, hang on. How does this work? It is different, isn't it? It feels like it is different. Sorry, I'm trying to see. So if this was 1, 4, then we know this would be a 1. I don't think I would know what this was. If this was 1, 3, 4, a 3 would go here. A 4 would go in the 13 cage. So this would be 4, 9. And then the world would be broken if for some reason it was necessary for there to be a 9 in the 16 cage, just as there was a 1 in the 15 cage. Now, why would this have to have a 9 in it? That's just not true. It's much less. I think this 15 and this 16 are not. That's really is quite a big symmetry break in terms of the pattern of the numbers. Because this being a big digit has really put pressure on those three. But this being a low digit really doesn't put pressure on this to have a high digit in it. It could have, if this is 1, this could have 4, 5 and 6 in it. So it doesn't even need any high digit. Whereas this definitely does need a low digit. It needs at least 1 low digit. Possibly 2 actually. If it didn't have a second low, no, it needs 2 low. Oh, and it does need 2 low digits actually. Okay, so right, so I'm still not quite there, am I? So whatever. Oh, I don't know. I get. Well, now continuing to be of the view that I'm slightly missing the point here. Right. Okay. Here's another point then. That 7 cage is not 1, 6, so at least I've got that down to one of 2 options, haven't I? It's either 2, 5, which would be very interesting, or 3, 4. If that's 2, 5, look, this digit's a 4 and this digit's a 2. So if this is 2, 5, I put 2 in the corner. This becomes 1, 3, 4. So all of oh, that's horrible. That would be 4, 9 then. This would have to be a 1. This would be a 2, 3 pair, I think. And this would be a 1, 4 pair. And I don't know what that means. We get to play ring a ring. Yeah, it's something to do with the perimeter, isn't it? There's all this pressure on it. I'm just not quite. I know. I can feel. I'm not quite seeing the crucial point here. I think it's to do with. Like whatever the other digit is in here. Let's make that. What colour should we use? Orange. Where is that digit in here? Because we know that the orange digit is not in there, because this can't have complete overlap. So the orange digit is not in those cells. It's either here or it's a 4, and this is 4, 9. And that probably does something. But I don't know what. What do we know? These add up to at most 8, but possibly as low as 6. You see, that feels... Oh, that would be interesting. Let me just think that through. No, I'm wrong, aren't I? There is a low digit in this 7 cage, like a 2 or a 3, because it's either 2-5 or 3-4. And I think there is a low digit in here that's not the 1. I mean, there could be 2 low digits in here. If this was 9, and this was 1, 2, 3, then this would have to be a 1-4 pair, because there would be a 2 or a 3 here that was common with this. That digit in the top row has to go here, so there's a 2, 3 in the corner. This has to be 1-4. Now, oh, that would make that 5 or 6. But I don't think there needs to be an overlapping digit between this sequence and this sequence, does there? Although if there was no overlap, they would add up, they would have to add up to 15. That's the only way that could work. And then there would be some sort of overlap between... Oh, it's not going to be something like, where's the red digit in this row, is it? Oh, it's probably that. That's a good question. Yeah, there can't be a 6. If this was 6, 9, it can't go... The maximum size of that is 8. So it can't have a 6 in it and 2 other digits, because 6 plus 1 plus 2 is 9. So perhaps the issue is, where is the red digit in row 3? And it's, I think, fairly clearly there. So that's a little win for the good guys. So that is 6, 7, 8 or 9. So it may, maybe it is something like that. It's possible, isn't it? And then that makes me want to play that same game with the orange digit here. And where's the orange digit in this column? But I don't think it works the same way. Why couldn't you have an orange digit in there? You absolutely could. It's weird. It's really weird. Okay, so the red digit has to be in one of those 2 squares, because it can't go in this 15 cage. And whatever this digit is not in there. And that we know that it's a 6, 7 or 8, because we know that there is a 9 in here. So if this was 6, 7, 9, this would be 8. This would be 8, 7, and this would be a 7. That might be fine. I don't know. No, I'm not sure. Golly, I think Tallcat might have got me a bit here. Okay, right, but I can play the same game with purple, can't I? Purple is the digit in here that's not in there. The high digit, the 7, the 8 or the 9. So let's just make sure we're understanding that. If this is 9, 6, this is 6, this is 5, 8, 9, and there would be an 8 up here, and that 8 would have to go in those 2 squares. If this is 7, 8, then this is from 7 or 8. There would be an overlapping 7 or 8 in here, which would be here. So this would be a 7, 8 pair. 9 would go up here, and 9 would have to be in there, along with the red digit. Right, so these digits are big old digits. And it almost looks like this is trying to be, I don't know. No, I was going to say a 7, 8, 9 triple, but I'm not sure that's true, actually. And I'm intrigued as to how you can do this at the top, but it doesn't seem to work down in the columns in the same way. It makes me think I've missed something, actually. Yeah, it could be some sort of empty rectangle point going round those cells. I'm not sure quite how that works, but I do wonder whether that's true. Now, okay, so let's keep going. How would it help me if I could generate the same sort of logic in columns 7, 8 and 9? What would that do? I don't know. Not sure. Yeah, like, is there some reason why these two cells have to be low in the same way these two cells have to be high? No, there just isn't there? Why couldn't the yellow low digit go in here? It can. I mean, if the yellow J, then that would be a yellow low digit. I do wonder whether it's something to do with... I mean, oh... No, what I was about to say is not true. I'm not saying it, therefore. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going with high digits in this row. When I say high digits, I mean 7s, 8s and 9s. These can't be 7s, 8s and 9s. These two can be, so that is the third one, isn't it? That must be a 7, 8 or a 9. And I suppose that's the equivalent of purple, which makes sense. So that's purple. We've got 2 low digits in here. Well, no, the thing is this could be a 4. Ah! Okay, so I don't know if I can do anything with that. If this was not 6, then 6 would have to go there. These two cells would add up to 10. That feels... Actually, it doesn't feel that brilliant. I don't know how we determine that, but that is what would happen if this wasn't 6. But if this is 6, then this is 5, 8, 9. Which means this would be 9. This would be 1, 2, 3. I mean, that would be hugely pressurized. Just madly pressurized. I bet I could break that. If I gave it a bit of thought, I think that would either break or finish the puzzle very quickly. If this is 6, this is 5, 8, 9. This is 9. This is 8. This is 6, 9. This is 6, 8. This is 9. Oh, no, see, it's much more straightforward than that. Sorry. Okay. How could this be 6? If this is 6, where am I putting 7, 8 and 9 in this row? If this is 6, I've got 7, 8, 9 there, a 7, 8, 9 there. The third one would have to go in the 15 cage. Yeah, okay. Alright, so what I ought to have done to see this, I think, is almost to pencil mark this 15 cage. If I pencil marked it heavily, because I know the maximum size of these is 8, each one of these individually can't be greater than 5. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now you can see in the row there's sort of a hidden triple of 7, 8, 9s. And that has to be a 7 or an 8. And now this, we know that red digit lives in there. So this is 7, 8. This is 9 now. And okay, so this is not 9, of course. That's the corollary of this. So this is a 7-8 pair. And there is definite 9 is the purple digit, and it lives in one of these two cells. These don't include 6 now, because they include the red digit, which is 7 or 8, and 9. So this is a 7, 8, 9 triple. Where's the 6 in box 2? It can't go in here, so it's in one of these cells. But also, where's the 6 in row 3? It's got to go here. Okay, so these do add up to 10, so this isn't a 1 anymore. So this isn't a 1 anymore. And that's beautiful. I'm making a Mickey. I am making an absolute Horlicks of this. But this is what I have. I'm sorry, we live solve. We live solve every day. And sometimes we may not find the purest and the cleanest way through. But look, I've now got this digit down to being 2 or 3. So this has to be a 2-3 pair, because we know the blue digit lives in there. And these digits are now 1, 4, 5. And I know that that's not 1 because there's a 1 up there. I did work that out earlier. So this isn't 1 now because there is a 1 in this domino. And now now there's an orange digit, which is a 2 or a 3. That has to go down there. So now, orange digit. Yeah, so now, well, now what's going on? 1 is the yellow digit, isn't it? So now 1, 2, and 3 live in these 5 cells. Yeah, that corner digit is 4, 5, or 6, because this digit, which is 7 or 8, partners up with the 2 high digits we know live in the 22 cage, looking at this cell. So this can't be 7, 8, or 9, and it can't be 1, 2, or 3, so it is 4, 5, or 6. This is a 6 by Sudoku in row 2, and that's it. That's done it. Yeah, so it's really cleverly put together. It's completely outfoxed me, but I am now. I think, look, this is 5, 8, 9, so this is 7. So this is not. Well, this is 8. This is 8. This is a 7, 9 pair. This is not 8, so that's not 6 across the 14 cage. If this is 5, 8, 9, we don't put 5 in the corner. In fact, we put 4 in the corner because it's C6. So these are 1, 2, and 3. Oh my goodness. So this is 8 now. So the 15 cage here has got. Oh, look, I've done this as well. This 15 cage has to be 1, 2, 4. So we should put that in, shouldn't we? And, ooh, God, okay, now there's definitely no 2s in this. Because this is 1, 2, 4. If there was a 2 in there, 2 in the top row would go in the corner, where apparently it's not allowed to go. So this is 3, 4, that's not 2. This is a 5, this is a 1. These aren't 1s, so that's a 1 in the corner. Oh my goodness. Right, what do I need? Is it 2, 9 up here? Seems to be 2, 9 up there. 2, 9, one of the digits is purple. These squares are 3, 5, 6 by that fair-weathered friend Sudoku. So that digit in the corner, the other corner is a 4. Now, well, okay, where's 4 in box 9? That is now a totally legitimate question. It's been forced into the 13 cage, so this is 4, 9. That's not 9, so that's not 5. Oh yes, and what I was going to say is, look, the 16 cage up here has now got 14's worth of digits in it, so that's 2. That's 2. So this is 1, so this is a 3 digit here, looking at the 8 cage, which is now not 1, 3, 4. So this is 1, 2, 5. This is brilliant. It's quite brilliant. It's absolutely baffled me, frankly. This is a situation where this puzzle has definitely won. Well, Tallcat has definitely won, which I know Tallcat will find hilariously funny. But yeah, as I say, at least I now feel I'm getting to grips with it somewhat. I probably shouldn't have said that, because now I'll get stuck completely. I mean, there are 4 cages now I've not looked at all. Oh, but that being a 2, look, I'm still going here. I'm still getting some stuff in the grid. So 2 in one of those 3 cells. The minimum value of those 2 squares is now 9 if this was a 4-5 pair. So this digit can't, oh, it can't be higher than 7. That's not very interesting. This digit is a 2. It's a naked single. So 2 is in one of those cells. And can we do anything cleverer? I'm sure it's possible. I just have to see where. This is not a 9 because it sees a 4-9 pair. That's not 9 in the corner for the same reason. This 2 down here gives me a 2 here and a 9 here. 9 we know is the purple digit, so let's try and preserve our knowledge about that. Got quite a lot of 2s in the grid. Let's make all of those blue. Can we do anything more profound as a result of that? This column needs 3, 4, 6, 7. So there's a 3 in one of these 2 cells by Sudoku. These digits are from 4, 6, 7. If that was a 3, those would add up to 11. That looks very, it looks very possible. Oh, hang on, here's something. I hadn't seen this. Look at column 6. There's a 6, 7, 8. Well, there's what, a 6, 7, 9 triple now. So that's not a 6 at the top of the grid. So the rest of this column is made up of low digits. Oh, this is right. So this cell here is 4 or 5 then. And this cell here is quite a low number. It's 1, 3, 4 or 5. Now, how does that work for this digit then? Oh, this can't be a 1, because then this would be at least a 10. So this, right, so now I've got a 3, 4, 5 triple in this column. This is mad. This is a 1 or a 2. This is a 1 or a 2. I wonder if we can do a bit better than that. Yes, we can. There's a 1, 5 pair here. So this is 2. This is 1. So 1 is in one of those 3 positions. Not that one. 1 looks like it's trying to get pushed into the 16 cage, doesn't it? There's definitely a 4. Oh, that could be important. There's definitely a 4 in the 16 cage because of this 3, 4, 5 triple. So the other 2 digits therein are going to add up to 12. And we know one of those digits is 3 or 5. So this digit is 7 or 9. And that's a 7, 9 pair in this column. Of course it is. Yeah, okay, so that digit's the same as that one by Sudoku. I don't know whether it's 9 or 7, and that's going in here. So if it was 9, we'd need 2 more digits that added up to 5. That couldn't be 2, 3, so this would be 1, 4. That doesn't work. Right. Okay, so I now know this digit is 7. And let me go through that again. This digit, whatever it is, it can't go here at the bottom of column 4, so it's going in there. Imagine it's 9. Now the other 2 digits adding up to 5, which means they're either 1, 4, but I can't put a 1 in this 14 cage because of this. And I can't put a 2 in simply because of this digit. It sees the whole cage. So these must be 7s, which is the red digit, if I remember rightly. This is therefore a purple 9. So 7 is going in here. So this is not 7. That's a 6, 9 pair. So 8 has to be in one of those 2 cells. So 8 has to be in one of those 3 cells, in case that's going to be important. Now what does all that mean? That felt like it ought to have done something, didn't it? 9 is in one of these cells. That's also true. And probably I have to think about the 14 cage now. So how are we making? We know, yeah, it's got to be 3, 4, 7, doesn't it? Because we've worked out there's no 1s and there's no 2s in that 14 cage. So if we need 2 digits that add to 7 without using 1 and 2, it's got to be 3, 4, 7. Now, if it's 3, 4, 7, well, this is 3 or... oh, this is 3. Because we know the 7's here, so this is 3 or 4 and it sees 4. So this is a 4, 7 pair. And hopefully we'll get going again now. So this is a 4. This is a 1, 2 pair. And we know the order. This is a 4, 3 pair. Yeah, this could be doing things actually. Although I've just noticed that I had a 1, 5 pair there that I seem to have decidedly militated against using. 2. Yeah, 2 is there actually. Look at that. This column. Oh, this being 7, these had to add up to 9, didn't they? So they must be a 4, 5 pair. Which means this is 3, this is 6, this is 5. These digits are now something. 3, 8, 9, looking at the Sudoku. So the middle digit today is a 6 by the looks of things. That's just Sudoku on this box. And in the column, we haven't put 3 and 8 in yet. Oh, well, we can do it. We can do it. That's great. So 3 and 8 go in. This is now 5. I think 5 never got coloured, did it? So this is an 8, 9 pair. 4, 9 are looking at this square, so that's 7, that's 4. And we can probably do other things now. 1 is in one of those 2 cells. Can 1 be in the 14 cage? This would add up to 13. Oh, well, actually, that looks possible. I've used up very few low digits so far. And this is, oh, this is a 6 or a 7 by Sudoku. Again, it looks like we're trying to hang our hats on lots of high digits in row 7. Okay, we can do the 2 and the 3 over here. I don't think that's going to help us, unfortunately, but we might as well tidy it up. And that's 9. Okay, so we're still going. That's 9. That's 4. There's now a 4. Oh, this is interesting. There's now a 4 in this domino. So we can ask where 4 is in row 4, look. Because there's a 4 in here as well. So 4 is not there. 4's not here. This is 4. So that's 5. One of those 2 cells is 5. 4 is in the 16 cage along with 2. So there are 2 digits in here that add up to 6. The other 2 digits are going to have to add up to 10. And they're not going to use 2 and 4. So we're not using 2, 8 or 4, 6. So it's either 1, 9, which would be a 1 here. And that doesn't work. Because if this is a 1, which is the only place 1 could go, this would have to be the 9 by Sudoku, and it can't be. So there is no 1 in this cage, which means this is 1 and this is 5. So this must be 4, 3, 7, I think. I think that's the only way we can make the cage work. So hopefully, I'm just looking at it now to see whether or not there's any way we can immediately discern how to take that forward. It feels like that must do something quite profound, doesn't it? But I'm not seeing what it is. Have we? No, we haven't used this cage. We've got one more cage left to help us. And somehow or other, I don't understand how that hasn't done a lot more. I'm probably just missing some Sudoku. I apologise. I'll apologise on behalf of my gut instinct, which is that I'm missing Sudoku. Right. So, where should we look next? So we've got all the 2s in the grid, I think. I might be wrong. Feels like we might have done. 1s, we've nearly got them all. We've got a little bit of 1-age to figure out. 2s, we don't know. 3s, that's not a 3. 3 is in this domino, or this triomino, but we don't know where. 4s? No, 4s are X-winged. That's what we've got left. 5s. Oh, yeah, nearly. Very nearly. 5 is, look, in one of those 2 cells. So 5 is either there or there, and it's not at the bottom. So that's 5, and that's 9. Good. So that's 6. That's 9 by Sudoku. That's 8, that's 9. Oh, 8 was green back in the day when we were colouring everything. 8 was green. Those are all green 8s. Those are all purple 9s. So this is no longer 9. 9 is in one of those 2 cells. And okay, let's look here. We've got 1 and 6 to place in row 8, so we might as well label that up. So this must be 1, 6 or 7. And somehow or other, well, I can see these aren't a 6-7 pair because that would make this a 1. If this is 1, these are, this is a 6-7 pair. Now that probably breaks for some reason. What reason's that? Don't know if that's 6 or 7. That has to be 4. So it would have, that doesn't work. Yeah, I think this has to be 1. And the way I'm seeing that is a bit complicated, but I'm saying that if this is 6 or 7, we can't have this being 6 or 7 because that would be 13 and require a 1 here, which would clash. So if this is 6 or 7, this has to be 4. Now, 6 plus 4 would make this another 4. That doesn't work. 7 plus 4 would require this to be 3, which doesn't work because of that 3. So I think that has to be 1. 1, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7. I mean, the fact that's working gives me a lot of hope, actually. That feels like it's worked quite nicely, doesn't it? In this row, what have we not put in? Well, that's the 1. We know that. We haven't put 6 in, so that's got to be a 6. That's got to be a 6 by Sudoku. And in the bottom row, we've got 3, 7, and 8 to place. 3, 7, 8. How can it still be resisting? This is now 5. This is an 8. Oh, this is an 8, 9 pair. That's going to do it. 8, 9, 3, 8, 9. 7, 3, 4. 7, 8. 8, 7, 3. Okay, that is a very clever puzzle indeed, frankly. And it has completely and utterly got me, I'm afraid. I think that would be a legitimate way of describing how I managed to get that done. I think I have got it done, but let's just finish my colouring because I'd like to do that. So it should only be 4s, 5s and 6s that are uncoloured in the grid. Yeah, I mean, the key to this is it's a really interesting puzzle, actually. And the key to it is, well, let me just think about this. What? How? Because I think I found all sorts of weirdnesses, especially to do with like. Yeah, I should have focused harder on this stuff. I should have pencil marked, frankly. The key is row 3. And the fact that there is a sort of hidden 789 triple in it. And once I saw that, the puzzle, I could then make progress. But I got a bit obsessed with thinking I could do... I thought I would be able to do similar symmetrical things down columns 7, 8 and 9 to what I'd achieved in rows 1, 2 and 3. And that's just not how the puzzle works. Tallcat has been cleverer than that. Tallcat's making you work and spot these things. And I found it really hard to do, primarily probably because it was Sudoku. But once I got that idea in my head, okay, that I could do that, then all of a sudden I started actually to be able to use some of the other things I'd spotted to some advantage. But again, Tallcat, don't give me too much of a hard time, my friend. I did my best, and I think I got the logic that you'd embedded. But I'll be interested to see in the comments what other people think. Let me know in the comments how you got on. Enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.